everyone, it's Heather and I am here aboard the AmaDara, AmaWaterways cruise ship on the Mekong River. Now this ship sails exclusively on the Mekong between Vietnam and Cambodia, and she's absolutely beautiful. She is a tiny ship like most river ships are. She only has 62 staterooms and most of them are suites, and she can carry up to 124 passengers. So if you're used to an ocean cruise, this is a whole different world. You get to know your fellow cruisers and you kind of feel like you have this boat all to yourself at certain times because there's enough space for you to go and relax and just kind of find your own little nook. Now, I did the Riches of the Mekong itinerary, which starts in Cambodia and ends in Vietnam, but you can do it either way, whichever works with your schedule. And I'm going to show you all around this ship. We're going to check out the restaurants, the lounges, the activities, the amazing crew and staff who have been so wonderful. And I think by the end of it, you're gonna fall in love and want to come and take a cruise with AmaDara yourself. So let's go.
I'm staying in a suite aboard the AmaDara. They're just a little bit bigger, about 115 square feet bigger than the regular staterooms. You have a larger balcony. You also have a beautiful bathtub, if that's your thing. So you have a separate shower and a bathtub and bigger space in the bathroom. Staterooms aboard any cruise ship are small, but on river cruise ships, they tend to be really tiny. So having this extra space with enough for a seating area and a chaise lounge and a desk, that's huge. There's only 2 of us in here, so having a ton of space isn't really necessary, but it is certainly a luxury. What I love about this suite is the very dark woods, this gorgeous rattan headboard. It gives you the feels of when the French were in Cambodia. So it's a very 1800s, early 1900s colonial vibe. If I had to give you a complaint, and it is a very minor one, the lighting in the bathroom is a little dark because of all of this beautiful hardwood. But other than that, it's just a gorgeous stateroom with shiny lacquered floors, and you can almost imagine yourself 120 years ago sailing down the Mekong River with a glass of champagne in your hand. I'm spending my morning up on the sun deck, which, as the name implies, is outdoors and where you go to get a little bit of sun. You can see the pool behind me. Almost every Ama ship has a pool or hot tub. AmaDara has this gorgeous pool, which is necessary because here in Southeast Asia, it is hot and humid year round. There's also tons of lounge chairs looking out over the railing so you can watch the river go by. There is a bar where you can get obviously your alcoholic drinks, but also iced teas, waters, whatever you might need. And I really like that it is a tropical oasis here on the AmaDara. There are plants and vines everywhere. They are even using cucumber and pepper plants as decoration, which is really cool. And there's a fish tank. So you have these adorable little fish swimming around. So you really feel like you're in the jungle, and they have this sound of running water, and it's just super peaceful, a great place to come, hang out, enjoy the weather and the scenery going by. I'm in the Saigon lounge, which is like the hub of activity aboard the ship. This is where your sip and sail hour is going to be, your nightly entertainment. You can come and grab a coffee at any time. There's afternoon snacks, do a puzzle, read a book, just come and chill out. This is where everybody kind of hangs out at any given point throughout the day. It can be loud or it can be peaceful depending on what's going on, but it is a public space to come and just enjoy whenever you want.
The food aboard the AmaDara is amazing, and that's no surprise. AmaWaterways is known for their food. They're actually the only cruise line in the world that's part of the French gastronomic society Les Champs de Rôtisseurs, which means they just know how to cook and make food taste good. Here on the Mekong, they have Western food for you to try at every meal, absolutely. So if you want your burger, or you want an omelet, that's there. But they also have local foods at every meal. So maybe there's pho in the morning for you to try. We had probably the best banh mi and korma curry I've ever had in my life. So there's always the option to try something that maybe you never had before. All of the food on board is included. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks in the lounge. There's no upcharge for any lobster or shrimp. Everything's included, so you don't have to worry about that. And there's also a specialty restaurant on board called the Chef's Table. Again, that's included. You don't have to pay extra for that. And if you think the food in the main dining room is great, wait till you eat at the Chef's Table. Everyone gets to eat there at least one night on their cruise. On the AmaDara, it was a 6-course tasting menu. I got the veggie option while my table companions got the regular menu, and we all agreed it was phenomenal. The dessert especially was mind-blowing. So you don't have to worry about the food being iffy while you're traveling through Southeast Asia. Ama has got you covered.
When you're sailing with Ama, a lot is actually included in the price. So don't get nervous if you think that price is a little high, especially if you're an ocean cruiser. So much more is included in a river cruise. So for example, when you're cruising with Ama, your Wi-Fi is included. You don't have to buy a package or pay any extra for that. And I find that even here in Cambodia, it's been pretty fantastic. There haven't been any outages, and I am able to watch videos and do work as needed. Also, all of your food is included, even at the specialty restaurant, all included. I don't have to pay any extra for that. Then on top of that, almost all of your alcohol is included. So at the Mekong, they do it a little bit differently than they do in Europe. Any local beer or spirits included all day long. They do have imported spirits and wine that they would charge extra for, but if you drink the local stuff, which was pretty great, included. And then at lunch and dinner, your wine and your beer are also included, even if it's not local, included. And then at breakfast, they'll also do sparkling wine for you. So that is a huge budget saver, all included in your cruise fare. And then I think the big one is that all of your excursions are included. And Ama is really fantastic in that they usually do 3 to 4 options in each port. So if you have a morning port and an afternoon port, there's usually 3 or 4 excursions included. So you can choose what you want to do, how much you want to walk, whether or not you want to bike, what sites you want to see, and you don't have to pay extra for that. So once you factor all that in, I think you're going to find river cruising is really budget friendly. I'm standing in the gym on the AmaDara, which truthfully is very tiny. However, how many of us are really working out on vacation? But if you are going to work out, it has everything you need. There's a treadmill, a bike, a spin bike. They also have free weights, so you can get any type of workout in. I'm also looking at yoga blocks and yoga mats. So whatever you need to do, you can come in here and do it. It's open 24 hours a day. I've been in here 3 times so far, and I've never seen anybody else in here. So think of it as your private workout studio. But in addition to that, AmaWaterways is known as a wellness cruise line. They really believe in wellness and fitness. And so if you want to do something on your vacation, they have a wellness host on board every ship. Here on the AmaDara, her name is Rosie, and she has been fantastic. She has led us through some yoga classes, restorative yoga. I just finished doing a Tai Chi class, which was my first time ever doing Tai Chi. We also did a resistance band class. Every morning she does a sunrise stretch as a nice way to start the day. She also has some core conditioning and other strength-based classes, but I like that not only is she focused on us and our fitness levels and gives us kind of a little bit of workout when we want it, she also does things that are traditional to this part of the world. So as I mentioned, Tai Chi, she's also doing Qigong classes. Later in the cruise, there's going to be a tea ceremony because they do that in this part of the world. She also does guided meditations. So you have the fitness not only for your body, but also your mind, which I think is really fantastic. And it's all included in your cruise fare. You don't have to pay any extra for it. And you can choose to participate or not, but it's there for you if you want it. One thing you have to know is that river cruise ships are tiny compared to ocean cruise ships. This is not a massive ocean liner with rock climbing walls and ice skating rinks. It is a tiny boat in comparison. And so the AmaDara, for example, only has 62 staterooms. I think it's a max capacity of 124 guests. So it's really small, and you get to feel like a family with your fellow passengers. On my sailing, because I'm in the off season, it's actually only half full. I think there's 67 guests on board. So I know pretty much everybody aboard. I've had dinner with them. We've gone on tours together, and you really get to feel like friends, which is nice. You feel like a little family, but just keep that in mind when you're planning your first river cruise, is that these boats are smaller, so it doesn't feel crowded. You feel like it is your own private boat. For example, I'm in the lounge now, and I am the only one here other than some of the crew who are just hanging out waiting for me to need something. So you can still find pockets of quiet and parts of the ship that genuinely feel like your own. Whereas on ocean cruises, forget it, it's you and 6,000 of your closest friends. This is a much more intimate, peaceful experience.
Unlike ocean cruising, there isn't a ton to do on a river cruise ship, but what I love about AmaWaterways is that they bring in local entertainment for you to see traditional things in the area you're visiting. So here on the Mekong River, they've brought in local dance troupes, local musicians that play the folkloric music of their country. So last night we had a bunch of Vietnamese musicians come in, show us how to play their traditional instruments, how they've modified guitars, and then they sang their folklore songs to us, had some dances, and they did the same in Cambodia, where they brought on a group of children studying their local and traditional dances, which is really neat. And then they also do some talks about the area you're visiting so you can understand the history of what you're about to see. And then there's also some things that have nothing to do with where you're visiting. So one night they had a crew talent show. Another night they kind of had like a music quiz, guess that tune type of situation. So there are activities to get everybody involved. There's music and dancing in the lounges at night. There's also a wellness host who will lead you through yoga, resistance training, a little bit of strength training. She'll do some active walks with you. But on the Mekong, they also did some local wellness traditions. So we learned a Vietnamese tea ceremony. I did a few Tai Chi classes, which I have never done before. So they're trying to bring in their culture mixed with what we may be used to back home. So it's all included. Again, we don't pay any extra for any of these activities. I think my personal favorite was the exotic fruits tasting, where the chef team brought in all of the fruit that you get in this area, showed us how to chop it up because it's a little weird, and then we got to taste it. And if you know anything about the durian fruit, I've been told that it is very stinky and very smelly. I fully expected to make a face and gag, but instead it was delicious. So if you come on this cruise, don't be afraid, try it. Worst case scenario, you just don't like something and you never have to eat it again, but try something new.
And there you have it. That is my tour of the AmaDara. What a beautiful ship. I love the small size of her so that you really feel like a family with your fellow guests by the end of it. But not only that, you feel like you have your private moments and the ship is all yours. You don't feel like everybody is on top of each other at the same time. And the staff was so wonderful and welcoming. They remember your name and what you like to eat, which is super impressive since they have to do this once every 7 days. The food was fantastic, that is normal for AmaWaterways. They are known for their food, and this did not disappoint. But I really love how accessible the AmaDara and AmaWaterways made the Mekong River. Cambodia and Vietnam are not countries that we tend to know a lot about, but they bring you here and help you engage with the locals. You get to know the culture and you feel welcomed and safe And you don't have to think about anything. You don't have to be nervous about where to go, where to eat. They handle all of that for you. They're happy to make suggestions. And honestly, I just had such a lovely time. I would come back here in a heartbeat. This was just such a fantastic experience. I got to check off some big things off my bucket list. And if you think you would like to check those off your bucket list too, send me an email, reach out, send me a message. I'd be happy to chat with you about this and help you book your cruise here. And if you have any questions at all about the ship, AmaWaterways in general, about the itinerary, pop them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer them. And if you like the video, click like, subscribe, share with your friends. I would appreciate it. I'm Heather and I will see you next time. Bye.